we already have learned about model behaviors that we maybe use to manage and help deal with the student behavior. However, what if these model behaviors, approaches, and methods are not able to immediately work in managing or dealing with the student's behavior and continuously act inappropriately? Hello everyone, I am Gamer Ibusa and my report is about rationalization for behavior, explaining how a child acts inappropriately. But before we go through this topic, let's have a little icebreaker. Okay, let's start. So guess the giverish. The twist of this activity is that I'm not going to use a word, but I will use a picture. So here are the mechanics. So you will be given a group of pictures. Each picture connotes a word, and connect each word to get the correct answer. Say the gibberish out loud and try to guess the word. And you only have 5 seconds to guess the correct answer. So now, you ready? So let's start. So here's the gibberish number 1. Mud and deer. Mother. Hope you get it right. Okay, let's go to the next. Gibberish number 2. Referee, Jerry, and Thor. Refrigerator. Tap your nose if you get it right. Okay. Great job. And then gibberish number 3. Dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. Okay. Next is gibberish number 4. Second to the last. Environmental. Okay. And last, deficiency. Give yourself a hand if you get the right answer, all of the gibberish word that I have given to you. And then now let's go to the next slide. So here are the terminologies that we may be encounter all throughout my report. So refrigerator mother, also known as Bettelheim's theory of autism, is a controversial psychological theory that cause of autism is a lack of maternal warmth. And then dysfunctional, not operating normally or properly. And then deficiency, the quality or state of being defective or of lacking some necessary quality or element. And then innate qualities or characteristics. Innate is a qualities or characteristics that are part of one's inner essential nature. And then detrimental, an undesirable, harmful person or thing. So let's go start with the rationalization for behavior. So the key aspects is ABA can make the interaction between the young child and the environment more understandable and offer explanation for why a young child is behaving in a certain way, as told you earlier. When a child behaves in an acceptable manner and the usual method of correction do not immediately work, the child's behavior can be explained in numerous ways, and ABA give us these factors that may affect why the child act in continuously misbehavior. So let's start. So here, number one is innate deficiency, family deficiency, and the third one is the environmental deficiency. So innate deficiency, this is deficiency on the part of the child. And then the family deficiency, this is deficiency on the part of parents or family or home or the family background of the child. And then the environmental deficiency, this is the deficiency on part of immediate environment where the child is in, or the environment of the child. So let's take a look at this. So we will explain that further later on, and let's have this categorizing explanation of inappropriate behavior. And it will give us this Venn diagram that shows that it's not only the innate or the family or the environment may cause the child misbehavior, but also these three may manifest in the child that cause continuously act inappropriately. So let's move on to innate deficiency. Let's talk more about this innate deficiency. So explanation of inappropriate behavior based on innate deficiency of a child. So there are frequent statement, limitation, and the benefits. When we focus on blaming, that we focus on the innate and the characteristic of the child, why they act that way. Okay, they continuously act misbehavior. So the frequent statement is he can sit still, she's just stubborn, he has a short attention span, she just won't listen, he just won't listen, he has ADHD, that's why he is very hyperactive and the child has trouble in paying attention, she has a cognitive impairment, the child has struggle to remember things or learning new things, and then he has prefrontal lobe damage that they might even become more aggressive. This child is aggressive and irritable and struggle to initiate activities. So the limitation of this is that the limitation of focusing the child, we focus the blaming on the misbehavior of the child, blaming their innate characteristics, is limitation is places all responsibility for the child behavior on the child. Of course, we focus that that's what he is. No, we can't do anything about it, and does not offer anything toward developing an intervention, because we put blaming on the child, and that we can change the innate nature of the child, and frequently involve circular reasoning. Okay, the example of circular reasoning, the child is misbehaving that way, and we say, kaya nga naman ka, dili naman ka magbago, perminti na lang. And we don't, and the teacher or parents did nothing at all. And benefits is, it relieves the teacher and the student and the parents' responsibility to make interventions. Let's not, because when we say, example of this is if the teacher or the parents diagnose their children that it has an ADHD or it has a special attention, special impairment, they have nothing to do with it, because it need professional help, it need professional assistance, it need to collect data, so that the professionals for that kind of special needs is to make an intervention that suit for that child. Okay, so So when we focus on child's innate deficiency, so do not provide any assistance in resolving the problem. So we focus on the child. We just blame the child. And then the explanation can be circular and illogical. It is circular, as I told you earlier, that we just focus on the child's characteristic because that's what he is. We can't do anything about it. And focus on innate deficiency of the child have frequently very difficult to verify or remediate. It is very difficult, especially when the child has a special needs. So it really needs professional assistance that can really help that suit professional assistance to really if the teacher diagnose or the parent diagnose their child that it has this kind of special need. So it needs a lot of gathering data. Okay, so next is dysfunctional family rationalization. So this is the family background of the child. So let's take a look. So when we explanation inappropriate behavior based on parents, family, home, or home life of the child. So the frequent statement is, his home life is horrible. Her parents don't provide any discipline. His parent is in jail. Her mother is in a alcoholic. Her parents are divorced, or all his brothers act the same way. She gets no attention at home. So when we focus the background, the family background of the child, blaming why they act that way. No, the limitation do not offer any immediate intervention for the behavior. If we focus the blame on the family background of the child, and then frequently involve circumstances that cannot be controlled or changed, because the teacher cannot intervene what happening to the family of their pupils, and places blame on parents. Of course, it is. That's why you're acting like that, because your parent doesn't give you any discipline. And then, of course, and the next is parents may resist intervention and focus on themselves or the family because they feel pity. They feel inferior if they know that the child acting this way. No? And then the benefits may result in parent training being offered. If we focus on the inappropriate behavior of the child because of her family background, then the training may result in parent training being offered, may result in family counseling being offered, and provides teacher with an explanation that relieves them of any responsibility. So, something that the teacher cannot do anything. Okay? So, next is when we focus on familial structure, parents may receive assistance to improve their situation. But it takes time and not directly, of course. The same way with the innate, it does not directly address to resolve the misbehavior of the child. And then this type of explanation of child behavior frequently place blame on parents, and who are legitimately trying to do everything they can to help their children. Even though they try to do everything for their children, sometimes there are situations that cannot be changed. And the teacher example of this, when the father is alcoholic or the father is in jail, the parents can't do anything about it, even though they try to tell their children that they don't need to be affected about this, or what kind of explanation they have, so that they have that the child will not be affected of their situation. So during 1950s to 1960s, there is so-called refrigerator mother. So let's take a look about this refrigerator mother. Refrigerator mother, as what described by Leo Kanner, a mother whose cold, uncaring style so traumatized her child that it retreated into autism. So they say that that's why the child has this why the child diagnosed with autism, because the mother is coldly giving attention with their child. It's like they don't give any attention. They don't give a warm treat to their child. So let's go to the origin of the refrigerator mother theory. So Leo Kanner, Austrian psychiatrist, who first coined refrigerator mother in 1940s. He was the one who first created the refrigerator mother. However, Bruno Bettelheim, he popularized the concept of refrigerator mother in 1940s to 1970s. He popularized this because he is in media like podcasts and radio station, and this refrigerator mother, he always refers this to the mothers who coldly treated their child. That's why their children has these special needs. However, in 1970s, it was debunked. This theory debunked by Bernard Remland. He says that he proved that autism has nothing to do with the relationship with the mother, but this is all about the autism caused by this is caused by neurological. Okay, hope you get it. Next so let's talk more about focusing on familiar structure. Also, this explanation often was severely detrimental. So it caused parents self-pity. If they are in the year 1940s to 1970s, they feel inferior. So because even though those parents give all the caring, the warmth of the children, but still their child has this treatment of autism. So they feel inferior. They feel self-pity. And focusing on parent, family, and home life explanation for a child's behavior can in some cases be detrimental to families and may not lead toward intervention that can be easily implemented. So as we talked earlier about that, if we focus on the familiar structure, it also needs data. It needs data to create what kind of seminar that need for parents, that parents need to have seminars or family seminars, and to help them change the situation of their family, so that that can be affect the child's behavior. All right. So last is the environmental deficiency rationalization. So now we already talked about the innate deficiency and the family deficiency, that the limitation is that it does not immediately address or deal the behavior of the students, of the child. So now let's take a look at this environmental deficiency rationalization. So when we focus on the explanation of the blaming the environment of the child, as what the frequent statement is that maybe the child has a problem with the transition, she won't do anything when she is hungry, he gets cranky when he is sleepy, he can't be around that other child, or she will only behave for that one teacher, he doesn't know how to express himself. So the limitation may at times be difficult to determine what aspects of environment to change, because in the environment of the child, especially when inside the classroom, there are many things going on there, just like the noisy classmates, the room may be not ventilated well, and then the teacher, the child may not like the teacher, or they may feel something like stomach ache, or they are hungry, they are sleepy. So it's difficult to pinpoint what needs to change. So, and then the intervention may require more time and effort from parents or teacher. But the benefits of focusing on the environment of the child may contribute toward intervention that directly address the behavior for a while, directly, may result in immediate intervention development, and may be easy to implement, and may produce immediate change in behavior. So example when the child is being sleepy, that's why he act cranky. So the intervention of that is, we let the child sleep for a half hour or an hour. Then when they woke up, they feel afresh. When they are hungry, they give some. We give them something to eat, so that they act. So they act appropriately. If she behave inappropriately with the presence of the teacher, we ask the teacher just to be there just to make the child behave. Okay. So when we focus on blaming the environment of the child, why the act because of the environment, that's why the child act inappropriately. So there is the good thing about this is that the teacher, the parents can create immediate intervention to deal with the misbehavior of the child. So next is, blaming the child's environment but may lead toward intervention that can directly address the child's misbehavior. And then environmental-based intervention can in some cases be easily and quickly implemented without extensive data collection, unlike with the innate, when we focus on innate and the family background of the child. It needs data collection. But when we focus on the environment of the child, you can easily provide intervention or implement intervention to deal with the behavior of the child. And however, a word of caution is to change only one at a time, because when we try too many alterations, it is difficult to discern which modification resulted in the decrease in the inappropriate behavior. So these are the 3 categories that EBA provide us, explaining why the child act inappropriately and continuously. So focus, we may blaming it on the innate of the child, family background of the child, and even the environment of the child. So it also offers limitation and benefits when we focus on blaming on those categories. So the conclusion is, Focusing on locus control or familiar structure may be counterproductive, no? When adjusting to resolve child misbehavior, it is counterproductive because it does not immediately adjust the child misbehavior, right? And then focusing on the environment of child provides educator a control to develop intervention and modification of child's environment that can easily adjust inappropriate behavior. And as I remember now, that one of the characteristics of ABA is that behavior must be observable and measurable. So it needs an immediate intervention so that the child behavior can when we implemented intervention for the child to change their misbehavior, we can actually see that there is a change. That the change is there is a changes in the child's behavior. And then environmental modification are often quick, easy to implement, and result in positive change when done systematically. So, and result in positive change when done systematically. And that's why we need also be cautious that we need to change it one at a time so that we can measurably see or observe that there is changes when we implement that intervention to manage when managing or dealing with a child's behavior. So that's it. So what is your takeaway from this topic? So let's us hear your thoughts. So that's all. Thank you, and hope you are well and safe. God bless. Thank you.